don't think that info screen's accurate anymore. I don't think it's 8 p.m. GMT. Why? In Star Trek's utopian future, there's no such thing as daylight savings. Because it's the worst. Why does it? Why? Why do we? We had a thing pass the Senate to get rid of it, and then they just didn't do anything with it, because of course they didn't. Because, why do we even have a Congress? They don't do anything. The one time everybody agreed with them, and they're like, nah, bloody worthless. Absolutely bloody worthless. You know what's not worthless is Star Trek, except maybe some of the episodes, but don't worry about that. Today's episodes are decent, though. Virtuoso is really good. Memorial, I think it's really good. It's not an episode that I rewatch, but it is also depressing, so that's probably a bigger part of why. Tsunkatse is an episode that I think is probably bad, but it's fun, so I don't care. Tsunkatse's good. Tsunkatse is okay. It has, of course, it has Dwayne The Rock Johnson. It also has Jeffrey Combs, and it also has Chancellor Martok. Everybody loves all three of those people, really. Actually, I don't know anything about The Rock. Is The Rock a good? I don't know anything about him. I just know he's Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And he wrestles and stuff. And this episode is a cross promotion with WWE or WWF. One or the other. Not important. I also have a question. What's up with Star Trek Resurgence? It's supposed to come out in April, after being delayed by like a year. It's almost April, and we still don't have a specific release date. What? I am very concerned about this game. I'm also not convinced that this game exists. Like, I know we've seen gameplay from it. I know they've advertised it. But I don't believe them. I'm concerned. There are multiple Star Trek projects that I actually don't believe it. Like the Section 31. I don't think the Section 31 show is going to exist. I think they're making that up. There's no such thing. I just don't understand. I'm so confused about what Star Trek's doing. Honestly, I'm confused about what this episode is doing, too. Not this one, because the first one's going to be Virtuoso. I'm confused about what Tsunkatse's doing, because why do we have an episode that's 90% 7 of 9 wrestling people? That's so weird. But it's fun anyway. So how's the weather? How are things going? There's been weather here for sure, a lot of it. A lot of rain. We had some snow, that was fun. We had some people needing to be rescued from the snow, which was less fun. Oh, and today the season finale of The Last of Us is out. In 6 hours. Or thereabouts. I never played The Last of Us game. I'd seen the intro, I'd seen other people play it, but I have no idea what... Before I started watching I had no idea what happened after the intro. So I don't know how they're going to end the season. I don't understand. Because at this point, I mean, I'm sure it's going to have it's a really good show, so I'm certain, I have faith that the ending will be good and satisfying. I just have no idea what it's going to be, because I don't know what their goal is. Because previously the goal was to get the kid to the people, and now the people aren't there, and it's a whole thing, and I don't know what the plan is. I also only know one thing about The Last of Us 2, and that's that people were upset about it for having a gay relationship. And that's the only thing I know about Last of Us 2. Though that does imply that certain characters don't die. So that's good. It also implies you should press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Oh yeah, the Kamari. I mean, if they really want to be examined by a human medical officer, they could probably like go back and find the torpedo tube they launched him out of. They go find him. Oh, he might even be one of those zombie people. Oh, that's probably racist. What's the proper term for those people who like scavenge corpses and resurrect them? Zombies feels rude. I don't think you, not as rude as these people. These people are the worst. Yes, well done, Doctor. Doctor is, of course, as always, the best character in the episode. Oh, what? God, can we get an emergency security hologram in here? Okay, that honestly, that sounds like it's their fault. If their propulsion can be shut down by a scan, that's their fault. Because like they're gonna keep running into species that use similar scanning technology. You need to shield your engine system. There is one other person who can help them. Tom Paris could help them. He is just a medic, so it's less help and more make them comfortable while their injuries worsen. But he could help. It should be good. Seriously, this species is worth it. What do they even do? What's the point of this species? They just, I guess they're isolationists, so they don't run into other species. Oh. Honestly, similar reaction here. Every time the Doctor sings on Star Trek, this is what the audience is like. They just go quiet, congregate around, admire. Not so primitive now, are we? We can use our vocal cords in a fancy way. We don't need your technology. Actually, no, we do need technology because Seven of Nine is a really good singer through technology. The Doctor is a really good singer through technology. The only people on this ship who sing do so through technology. So I take it back. We do need it. Is there? I'm trying to think of other characters on Star Trek in Voyager that have musical talent. The only one I can think of is Harry Kim, and that's iffy. I mean, for one, it's the clarinet, and nobody likes the clarinet.
Hey, Ryan.
Hi, do you like the clarinet?
Yeah, but I'm more of a recorder kind of person.
Okay. It's just the clarinet is what Squidward plays, and nobody wants to be Squidward until they inevitably turn into Squidward as they age.
Oh, is that what happens to Harry?
Uh, kinda. He does get kind of grouchy in those future-centric episodes. Oh yeah,
The
Neelix
singing band.
tried to sing, but they determined his vocal cords were incapable, physically incapable of singing nicely. He couldn't do it.
It's like a dog. Are we the band on singing is still present in this episode?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, isn't all his singing in Italian? I don't think you speak Italian.
True. But I mean, these people will be impressed with anything, so I don't think.
Even Italian, God, it's the worst.
We didn't start yet?
No, oh yeah, I just forgot to press this. Hang on.
Okay. Sorry.
There it is. There's
Too much
the
I
countdown.
understand.
No, be silent and hold your forked tongue behind your teeth.
Okay. See, this is not Italian.
True. I guess Italian's only good for opera.
So this episode makes no sense. Sorry to start this early on the debunking the episode. So, yes, music is a function of mathematics, and in Earth history, Pythagoras was the first one to like kind of develop this thing. You can figure out yourself if you put a row of glasses, drinking glasses, and you fill them up with a different height of water. Each glass will make a different sound when you clink it. So you can figure out there's a harmony, there's a mathematical relationship between notes. So if they have math, there's no reason they shouldn't have music.
They just didn't think of it. I don't know what to tell you. For some reason, the person who just spoke, the really rude lady, she really reminds me of Cassidy Yates. Like, she could be Cassidy's daughter.
Her hair too.
Maybe that she does have really similar. Actually, does she? I don't know. I haven't seen Cassidy recently, but for some reason this lady reminds me of Cassidy.
Do you like opera, right?
Only when the doctor sings it.
Do you like classical music?
I don't think I have ever in my life listened to opera that wasn't the doctor.
Do you like classical music?
It's fine. I don't listen to music much at all, really.
Okay.
It's pretty much all the doctor. If there's music in a TV show or a game, sure, but I don't really go and just listen to it.
Do you have a favorite artist for pop music? Taylor.
I no, but okay. I have some favorite. Oh, it's a complicated question because I have like people who done music that I really really love, but it turns out they actually kind of just suck as people. So I don't want to say, oh yeah, I really like them.
Mm-hmm. Kanye.
Jeremy Soule does really good music, but it turns out he kind of sucks. Marty O'Donnell does really good music, but it turns out he kind of sucks.
Kanye has really good music. It turns out he's anti-Semitic, therefore he sucks.
I think Kanye is probably significantly worse than either of the two.
Yeah. Well, when you say
I don't actually remember what Jeremy Soule did.
Well, when you say they suck as a person, Kanye comes to mind. This episode also goes to show that Starfleet resignations can be rescinded at any time.
Starfleet is an organization of convenience. The Prime Directive applies, except when it's inconvenient. All their laws are like, no, we can never share technology unless it's convenient.
Yeah, and I was watching the season 7 episode where the ship is in different time frames. Chakotay navigates the Seska and the pre-caretaker Janeway. And I forgot what I was going to say.
It doesn't matter. We're too distracted by the doctor singing opera.
Yes, he has an audience that loves him.
For once in his life. His actually rather short life that he's only been singing for like a year. But for once in his life.
What are these people actually admiring? Because
I don't think it's the singing itself. I think it's just the math.
Yeah, it's a mathematical harmony.
Can't even clap properly. They're the worst. I'm concerned about the drums in the background, though. I don't think the doctor is going to play them, but I'm concerned about what other people are going to come in and do.
Yeah, what kind of concert we got going on over here?
Who goes from opera into jazz?
I remember though, because just growing up, in the '90s, you were used to pop music, and I remember, I had a friend in college, classical music major, but he kind of walked me through how this works. So classical music, um, when you start bending the rules, it turns into jazz, and then when you bend the rules of jazz, you get rock and roll, and for rock and roll, you just get regular rock, and from rock, you get pop. Um, and then you have whatever we have now, which is music that sucks.
So you're one of those. You're one of those people.
Yeah, I'm gonna
You
buy
don't
a
like things
vinyl.
that are different.
I'm gonna buy a vinyl player soon and only listen to vinyls.
Uh huh. Why don't they like the mathematical properties of jazz? Or is it just that they
Yeah,
hate Harry? It might
that's
just be that they hate Harry.
Harry sucks at jazz. Um,
Not at jazz specifically, just he's Harry.
no, but this also doesn't make sense. So if you never heard music before, why is the guy singing way more impressive than just the music? Because it's the same thing. You're just doing it with the voice. La 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 la.
Is Seven even in this episode? Because when you talk about singing,
Yeah.
I don't think. I think she is, but she doesn't actually sing herself. She just like berates the doc. No, wait, I remember. She calls herself a fan of the Doctor. It's all coming back to me.
It's not all Italian, Ryan. We got plenty of English.
Yeah, yeah. Federation standard,
Yeah.
which is just. Actually, I think in Discovery they do straight up call it English. I think they just.
Yeah, they break canon. I would like to say I don't like that part when they break canon in Discovery. I don't mind all the other breaking canon, but there's no language
Well,
called
they.
English.
Hang on, hang on.
There's
Because
no
they
language.
definitely call it English in Enterprise.
Okay.
And I think they might do it in TOS.
Okay. It's funny because English has nothing to do with England anymore. And because of the British Empire, it's so worldwide, and because of the American
Exceptionalism. We're everywhere.
exceptionalism, American English is way more popular than the British accent now because everyone watches Dharma and Greg and SpongeBob and Star Trek. Um, so I think calling it Federation Standard would make way more sense. We shouldn't call it English anymore.
Federation Standard is just called Federation Standard so they don't have to mess with the translations for each dub.
Yeah. Um, I had a gym teacher who used to call it Anglo-Saxon.
Okay, so I did a script search for TOS, and they do call it English in TOS, not Federation Standard.
Okay.
Federation Standard was that? I wonder when the first. It's got to be TNG.
Yeah, with the octograms and all that. It was way more of a like books kind of thing, like Star Trek Encyclopedia, Klingon dictionary kind of thing. They don't talk about English much in the show. They call it whatever. Have you been to a concert hall, right? Like for classical music, like the Doctor?
My dude, I don't listen to music. Why would I
No,
go to a concert hall?
I had a friend in college who was a classical music major. I wound up going to the performances here and there.
So, hypothetically, if you got stranded on some planet, say some planet that was moving really fast through time, where should people go to look for you? Would they go
Me?
to the cultural center, music halls?
No.
Oh. Those words don't mean anything to our doctor. my god, you didn't appreciate his abilities either, lady. You called him primitive. Wait, what planet was that? I mean, I know it's Kamari, but what planet? Wait. Was that a Reeves matte painting? I think that was. Oh god. Okay, if this is what opera houses do, I don't think I want to change my streak of not going to them. What am I looking at? Why is the doctor dressed as a clown? I also wonder if we're gonna get subtitles for the Italian. Because we didn't get it when he was singing to the crew in his daydreams.
Like, I think it's part of the role. Like, he's a lover, he's a clown or something, and that's why he can't get the girl or something.
Maybe he can't get the girl because he's dressed like this. Is this traditional Italian wear?
I should wear this outfit and sing
So
about how.
I looked up Pagliacci. I looked up Italian man, and yeah, no, he dressed like that. What's the deal? Or at least there's a poster of someone dressed like that.
There's yeah. Costumes are really important back in the era of stage productions. So they spent more money on costumes than they did on anything else. I remember reading about Shakespeare's Globe Theater.
I guess in an era where everything has to be made by hand, it's a hassle.
Yeah, and you don't have money for special effects or lighting or too much props. So at the very least, you could wear a dazzling costume or a buffoonish costume.
My god, it's sabotage. Oh, that's weird. Look at their sentence structure. It like curves in on itself and branches to different.
Fan mail. So the doctor here, he really wants to be recognized, and he says
You got
like,
it.
being recognized is more important than being the doctor on Voyager. And then he comes back, and we just act like he never said
Pretending that things never happened in my Star Trek.
that.
Well, Seven, I mean, have you seen him?
I mean, he's like the Beatles in the British invasion. Thank God they didn't show like teenage girls screaming over him.
Don't take this wrong, but if I maybe. No, I didn't get the screen grab in time. Dang it. I just got a picture of Seven. I wanted to read the fan mail. In fact, it's probably on Memory Alpha. It's gotta be, right? What's this episode called? Virtuoso?
Yeah. I mean, I'll look it up for you.
Virtuoso, Memory Alpha, fan mail. It's not on
They
Memory Alpha.
they they take over the whole ship.
They really need to establish like a ticket system. You beam up to Voyager when your ticket number is up. Oh god. So, okay, between TNG Season 1, where they had these holograms, it's been like 15 years before we got this technology back. They had these mini holograms in TNG Season 1 and immediately dropped them, and we never saw them again. until now. Once again, I feel compelled to ask, what are you wearing, Doctor? Why are you in a robe? It's a sophisticated robe, I guess. Maybe I just don't understand fashion. I don't understand the robe. I don't understand the clown outfit. Maybe that's just me. Oh boy. Okay. That is the key sign that a character has gone over to the dark side. When they start calling the captain by their first name. Yep, Janeway picked up on it immediately. Riker does it. He turns evil. Doctor does it. He turns evil. A little. I'm pretty sure a character in Picard season 3 did it. And I mean, he's not evil, but he's a jerk. The only person I can think of that refers to a captain as by their first name, and they're not evil, is Jadzia and Cisco. She's the only person allowed to say Ben. No, kick them out. No. Doctor, kill them. Doctor, gun. Use gun on fake patients. That's not impressive. That's. Not sure about that. I swear you've seen that planet before. That's gotta be a reused matte painting. Oh, more matte paintings, Star Trek. Let me. It kinda looks like Romulus, but I don't think it's Romulus. Just looking through the memory alpha of all the matte paintings. It's not Deneb. It's not Bandy. It's not Relva. Definitely not Beta Z. Okay, so it looks like this matte painting was reused as the Zal homeworld, which was one of those species that got wiped out by the yeah, Year of Hill. It got wiped out by the time weapon. They don't appreciate the mathematical construct of your singing that was programmed into you. Okay, I don't know if I believe that. That sounds a little sketchy. Look, so what if the people die? We're gonna be so entertained by you. Who cares about them? No, Doctor, don't do it. It's a trap. Though on the bright side, Actually, is this the bright side? It's harder to reveal if somebody's evil when they're talking to the doctor because they don't have a first name to refer to him by. I mean, I guess they could say Doc, but I mean,
Yeah,
that's not evil.
yeah. I like Janeway. I mean, it's tough Janeway's call here because her job is to make sure her ship has a doctor, but she
It's fi-
really
we can just use the backup for him. It's probably fine.
that's the other thing though. Like, there's no reason they can't transfer his program. Like, create a clone on a hard drive somewhere.
What if we traded the doctor for more mobile emitters? Because they could probably make them, right?
What the doctor doesn't know is that Janeway considers everyone a part of this ship. You're all
Part of the crew,
slaves.
part of the ship.
You're all here for life.
Hey, Robo.
Part of the crew, part of the ship. Nobody leaves except through death.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really good exchange. Enough is enough, and it's like, how can you tell me that you have control over my life and my decisions?
Also, Doctor, that's not fair. She has considered you an equal in several episodes.
All this stuff is great about hologram and AI self-determination, but Star Trek Picard is going to render all of this mute because artificial life forms have no rights after the attack on Utopia Planitia. But it's a nice thought.
I mean, I assume they're gonna get the rights back for AI. And I'm wondering how long they actually lost rights for, because it feels like they're gonna lose rights for like 5 years. It's just a little blip in Federation history.
I don't
Oh
know.
God,
It
Doctor.
makes sense to ban, like, AI is such a problem, or will be. I mean, we're not there yet. That I think one day Star Trek cards are. We're all going to ban them. We're going to go the Romulan route.
And I'm looking up. Okay. So this is season 6, episode 13, Virtuoso. Last episode was Blink of an Eye. In Blink of an Eye, he had a wife and child. And now he's trying to. He moved on real quick, is what I'm saying.
Oh
It's
yeah.
been like a week.
Oh yeah. That wife and child, like the kid who died and the son who wouldn't listen.
No. I mean, when he was transported down to the super fast planet,
Uh huh.
he had a kid with some lady whose name I don't remember.
I totally missed that part of the episode. I think we were too busy talking.
Yeah, because he beams up Daniel Day Kim, and they start talking. It's like, oh yeah, when you get back to the planet, can you look up like my great great grandson, see how they're doing, see if they're okay? No, he had a family, and he doesn't care.
I thought it was Daniel Day Kim with the great great grandson, but okay. So he's handing the sick bay off to his provisional nurse.
This is clearly malpractice.
Yeah, the hospital can't be run by the helmsman.
No, more in the sense that telling Tom Paris to perform medical operations is basically negligent homicide.
Yeah. Hey, Argo.
He is not equipped for this.
Happy Voyager Sunday.
What?
Happy Voyager Sunday.
What?
Welcome to the show.
What?
I hate coworkers who don't say bye before they leave.
Well, you would hate me. No, my shift's over. I'm done. I'm out. Screw
No,
you guys.
I
I'm
mean,
going home.
when you're promoted and you go to a different office and you didn't let us know, it's just like, oh, her chair is just packed up. Her desk is just packed away.
Is that how you
Oh,
feel?
this sounds very personal.
A little bit.
I think he's talking about you.
Well, he said her, and I'm not a her, so it's not me.
Oh, true. Fair point.
So
Oh, wow, Seven actually has lines in this episode. She showed up.
and isn't the whole plot that like the doctor has a crush on her and he never
Yeah, but she
reveals it?
already told him that they're best of friends.
He
So
does
he
help her
no
a
longer
lot.
is considering her as a romantic option.
He was her mentor for the humanization.
Isn't it the
part.
doctor who says, "Oh yeah, we had a great time, and now we're good friends," and he does it to himself?
Well, I think he does, but after Seven does the whole, like, oh yes, chapter 19. Thanks for the memories. Here's my parting gift. It's like, oh, okay.
I maybe Seven liked it singing the "You Are My Sunshine."
Your replacement, Doctor. We don't need you anymore.
Yeah, they don't get music if you think, well, so that's funny because I remember learning a few years ago, Cher's Do You Believe in Love or whatever?
Doesn't making any noise.
Do You Believe in Love is was the first auto-tuned song like in history. And then everything else has been auto-tuned. So let's say you like Justin Bieber or whoever's really auto-tuned. Do you even like music if you're just listening to like a computer modulation of their notes?
Do you like music
I
if you
mean,
like electronic music? The same question, isn't it?
True.
it
True.
reminds me of when, like, oh, do you like steak or do you just like salt and pepper? It's like, why not both? Ah, Superior. Yes,
Yeah.
we don't need him.
The thing is, it's like the autotune happens, and then it sounds nice. That's more of a reflection on the artist's quality than the listener.
I mean, in theory, but like for example here, right? When they said Neelix couldn't sing because his vocal cords are impossible, you just get Neelix to sing and then you auto-tune it. You just don't understand music.
Hang on, was that actually Robert Picardo doing that note, or was that dubbed?
They modulate it. They must have. It's easy to change the pitch in audio editing. Oh wow, they even give him a ridged forehead.
See, I'm just curious what they're going to do to demonstrate this guy is capable of singing things the Doctor can't when they're both Robert Picardo. I want to see how they do that.
Music is more than mathematics. Is it?
I have never once thought about the mathematical properties of a song.
Well, I was trying to learn piano, and then obviously when you try to interlace the notes or whatever, there's a mathematical thing to relationship between the notes. But interesting, the Hank, he's a famous YouTuber with like the science show or something, and his brother also makes a lot of math and science videos. So Hank Green, I think is his name. He pointed out I just watched a video he did a year ago. Stradivarius violins cost like $1 million, if not more, and they were made 300-400 years ago. We don't know the process that they did it, but those violins are one of a kind. And one of the reasons we think is because Europe was in a very cold period back then, and the trees just grew a little bit harder, more dense, and that's why maybe the violins are so great. But they did a blind test.
So we need to refrigerate our forests.
So they did a blind test of musicians who play the Stradivarius and audiences.
Before you continue with this, I would like to make a prediction that people are going to say the Stradivarius sounded worse.
Were they
Um,
really considering for a second that they were going to leave the ship's chief medical officer on a random planet that likes him singing?
he can't sing the notes. I think they were. They really were.
That's just. Ugh.
They really were. Because he successfully argued for his right to self-determination.
How many episodes does he have to do that? Doctor, they don't even like you. They like the idea of you. It's not the same thing.
So in the double-blind study of who likes Stradivarius violins, the audience couldn't really tell if it was a Stradivarius or not.
Okay, so I was close.
Yeah, you were close.
It's like one of those wine studies. Can you tell the difference between this $10,000 bottle and this one we got from Walmart off the shelf?
Why would they? Why would they though? They would just copy that and say, "There we go, we got it even better now."
I don't know, we could have a whistling teapot operate on us. That sounds good.
That sounds risky.
That's Angel One.
I like how every time we see Komar, it's just alternating between zooming in and zooming out of the same matte painting.
But, being a singer is terrible because as you age and the more you use your voice, you're gonna croak eventually.
Neapolitan.
But
What's Neapolitan? What does that mean?
from the Napoli, Naples, Italy. It's from the city of Naples, which is
Okay.
on the west side of Italy.
And yes, I can confirm these subtitles are totally worthless because it just said sings in Italian. That's not helpful.
I've been trying to listen to Wagner and all that. It's just hard, but really good
If it's hard to listen to, maybe you don't like that kind of music.
You know, when I was in college, I had no appreciation whatsoever for classical music.
I
But
don't think many people do. I wouldn't even
yeah,
say I do, even though I like the sound of it.
Well, like
yeah.
the Beastie Boys?
Classic.
I just think all my relationships in college they were with classical music majors, so it kind of rubbed off on me. And now I'm like, I do enjoy it.
Or do you just enjoy the idea of it?
Just like these FIFA.
No, that's the thing though. I do like it.
Oh.
I love comparing genius of certain pianists versus some pianists will play very textbook style, and others will
That's a word you need to enunciate very clearly, I would like to note.
Yeah,
other piano players they will improvise on the piece as they're playing, and that's like god level genius. Vladimir Horowitz, somebody introduced me to him, and he's such a genius. He'll improvise a piece every time. He's also been playing since the 1930s. So
Is this one of those tech demonstrations like when they come out with a new phone? It's like, here's the
Protect
old
them.
boring things.
we have 5 cameras now.
Look at
God,
all these
that's
new
depressing.
features.
Yeah, just because your phone is 200 megapixels doesn't mean it's a better camera. Sorry. But one thing I learned though, American Idol or watching those kind of shows, you're supposed to sing notes within 1 octave. If you go outside the octave, you don't know how to sing. Oh wow, he's doing male and female voices. He's like a
At
whole
the same
choir.
time,
What did,
Yeah.
that
he's a
was
Yeah.
that
choir.
was it sounded horrific.
what did I just listen to?
So discordant.
They love it. Oh my god.
God, the Kamari are the worst.
You guys don't know what music is.
I feel like we need to get the time ship back and wipe out this version of the map painting too.
So about that resignation.
Yeah, about that, guys.
When I said, you people don't matter to me and I'd rather have a successful career, I meant
What I meant was,
Is this going to be one of those classic things where I never submitted your resignation?
yeah, probably.
I meant you all mean a lot to me, and I'm very fulfilled in the work that I do.
Lol.
So what would happen? He would get his emotion.
What?
Oh,
You can't even demote him because
No,
his
you
rank is
can't.
irrelevant. He's
You
chief
can't.
medical officer.
You can't. There's
You're
nothing
going to
you can
promote
do.
Tom above him?
There's
The
nowhere
worst
for
thing
him
you
to
could-
go.
The worst thing you could do is send him back to his job, which is what she did.
She could start deleting his fingers one by one.
Deleting his like vocal octaves.
But this was great because he has all these souvenirs that he now hates. Oh, but actually it reminds me of I remember
God, that laptop is thick.
when you watch a singer in concert, and for example, he or she could have the biggest pop song of the summer, and then when you watch them on tour, and then you watch their last show of the tour, they're so tired of singing that song that's chopped all the Billboard charts. Like they'll have the audience sing it, but they're like, yes, the thing made you a millionaire and this thing made you famous, but you hate this song now.
Yeah.
And you're definitely not singing it, no matter how much they pay you.
I have a concern about
Oh,
Seven
she
here.
signed it. Oh.
But she signed it as tertiary adjunct of Unimatrix 01.
Yeah,
which
that's like
one,
signing
she's
with your full
not.
name.
She's
That's
not the
right, what?
tertiary adjunct anymore.
That's her last
And it
name.
makes me concerned that she wants to still be the tertiary adjunct of Unimatrix 01.
Yeah, she has nothing to do with Unimatrix 01 anymore.
No, it's just like using your large title, you know?
Okay. Not that song.
Ah, classic American folk music.
Ancient folk music by this point.
Exploitation of cheap labor.
That is an American classic.
Dinah, won't you blow?
Don't look too carefully into the history of where the railroads came from. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, they
Sweetly.
came from the metal, and the people that built them. What people?
What
eh?
people? Don't worry about that. They're probably well paid. It was fine. Don't worry about that.
What do you mean paid?
So the next... No, they were paid. By that point, slavery was illegal. It was just a matter of how much.
And also,
How much slavery?
and
How much they were paid.
and how severe were the working conditions that you died as you were building them.
Oh, I mean, it's just it's a hazard of the job. That's
It's just like building the Empire State Building, right? If it happens, it
Have you
happens.
seen... So after Strange New World... No, not after Strange New Worlds. After Discovery Season 2, I wanted to see more Ensign Mount. So I watched Hell on Wheels, which is all about the creation of the American railroad system in, a dramatic fashion. Highly recommend it. And you get to see all the, basically, torture.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Let's
sounds
play in
fun.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Yes, on the West Coast it was Chinese slaves, and on the East Coast it was
Not slaves.
low-paid laborers,
It was navvies on the east.
and it was
That's what they called them. Irish
What?
people.
Irish people. Okay, Irish and blacks, I assume. But and then they met in the middle, and that was called the Transcontinental Railroad.
Yeah, I guess.
Key point of Hell on Wheels, though. The main characters are Anson Mount and Colin Meaney. So, already 10 out of 10.
Yeah, for sure.
Wait, Colmini? Is that like he's going to suffer an awful lot then, right?
He only suffers a little bit. He's actually the big rich boy.
Oh
What?
wow.
Doesn't make sense. Can't understand that.
There's a little suffering. Frankly, I'm shocked that he suffers as little as he does. Because I mean, he's playing an American, but he's
Ah, you wanted him to
the
suffer more. I
no
understand.
the man himself is Irish, and he's playing a character about 1800s America. It wasn't great for the Irish in 1800s America.
Yeah.
I saw that eye roll, Kim. Hot shower. Wait, what? What do you mean? Surely you mean a low pitch shower. Now, see, did they go to an alien planet or something? Because if so, they should absolutely get checked by the doctor before they do anything, or get greeted by the crew. We need a decon chamber, is what I'm saying. Oh, it's the TV, isn't it? Wow. 1956. Some of the worst ones that were ever made, but okay. It doesn't even get Hulu. The worst streaming service.
Where does she get the programming for this television?
From the ship's cultural database. Where else?
Thank you.
Why are there still commercials? Okay, fine, fair enough. God, does anybody still watch like cable TV? Because it's been like a decade for me. Because I'd sit down to watch something, it was 60 to 70% commercials.
We're watching TV right now.
But this isn't cable TV with commercials in the middle.
It does
I
have
specifically
commercials.
mean like
It has
with a
breaks in
cable
between
subscription.
where you tell us to queue up the episode. Maybe that's ad space that you're not utilizing. Is that a fake beer he's drinking?
It
It looks a bit
maybe.
like foamy. It's just a little bit too foamy.
Well, I assume they
Suspiciously
didn't give the
foamy.
actor real beer.
Suspicious amount of foam on there.
I'm impressed with Tom Paris's self-control here. He's been watching this apparently for quite a while, and he's had very little popcorn. That popcorn should have been gone like 2 hours ago.
They keep them well nourished on the Voyager. Wait, is this the one where they all... Oh yeah, it's this one.
Yeah, he's hallucinating. You can tell because he has the bags under his eyes.
Yeah, as everyone that hallucinates ever has.
That's how it works.
You see yourself on the TV, your reaction is terror and not, I'm a movie star.
Look. I
Look,
forgot his
Mom.
wife's name. Wait, look, Balana, I'm on TV. God, now he's gonna start asking for autographs. It's gonna be the worst.
Two up, I understand. You are a Vulcan man.
Mm-hmm.
I love that there's a server mute button. It's a lovely button. It's my favorite button.
Oh, it's not allowed to sing it if it's the wrong episode, is that what it is?
There's a rule against singing in general.
No
Singing
enjoyment
is
in this
dead.
channel, only discussion about the episode.
So anyway, how about The Last of Us? That's pretty good. How about I don't know. Do you guys like fajitas?
Do you like massacres? That's what this episode's
Only
about.
if I'm the one committing them.
This episode's about massacres. But
Usually my massacres are very abstract, like Stellaris level massacres where you're just
Mhm.
watching some numbers go down.
or a planet being bombarded, but not or like an armada around
You
it.
don't get to see the people suffering.
Yeah, you don't get to see the skin peeling off as they jump into a river. Also, this episode's really like dimly lit, and television's really supposed to be really brightly lit. So, like the fact that most of it is
What do you
dimly
mean
lit,
supposed to?
just like it helps everything to be able to see things clearly. But I gotta say though, you gotta love this TV and also Tom's acting over here.
Do I? It's so chunky.
Yeah, it's a very chunky TV. Like
And it's so small.
she made him a
Weapons
60s
fire.
TV with like, you know, like
She
Oh,
she
the
gave him a
weapons fire.
14-inch CRT.
I think it's 9 inches or was a big deal back then for a TV in those days.
What do you mean
Um,
those days?
60s,
Well, the 90s.
1956.
1960s. Like a 6 to 9 inch TV was big enough, and of course, like color was a new thing. Most people still had black and white.
Yeah, the world was black and white before then.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
my dad tells me that.
Yeah, it's true. How big are your TVs?
I just got a 15 inch.
How big is the screen you're watching this on right now?
30.
I have two 32-inch monitors and a 38-inch TV.
I think I'm on
Ew,
27.
TV for computer use. Ew.
Sorry.
Ew.
I mean, a couple times when I still lived with my parents, they had you know, as they do, big TV for the main living room. And occasionally, I just took it and hooked my computer up to it, and it was awful. Let me tell you,
Yeah, it's bad.
don't do that.
Yeah.
TVs is not
It's so
designed
impractical.
for the refresh rate that you expect.
Not even
out
just
of a
the
computer.
refresh rate, like because I had it on my desk, so
What type of TV?
I had to like physically move my head 45 degrees to each side to see the whole thing.
Oh, that's too big and too close to you, then, my friend.
Yes, it was. It was awful.
How you doing, Argos?
Harry tripping right now. I'm alright, yeah.
They're designed to do two different things: televisions and computer monitors. So that's why they're not really.
Harry
interchangeable.
Kim's escaping from the map painting. Get away, Harry.
But I remember I went to.
God.
Go ahead.
What if you become part of the matte painting? What if that's like a bad ending,
You're basically just frozen in time, I guess.
right?
God, I
There
hope
was a
Star Trek
Doctor Who
Resurgence, if the
episode
game
about
actually
that.
exists and comes out, I hope it has very obvious matte paintings in some of the hallways.
It's just a hallway you can't.
What if
go
somebody
through.
makes like an homage to Star Trek, and they do like physical models, matte paintings, styrofoam rocks?
It's like they don't
Just,
finish
like,
the rest of the ship.
take it
It's
back
just
to
a
the
matte
roots.
painting. Like
The sky on the alien planet is just a gradient drop, like
God, some
Single gel
TOS
lit.
episodes weren't even a gradient. It was just a solid color.
oh, that could happen. You know, you could have like a really
But it
you have
looks
like a
so
red sun.
bad.
You know, and I agree.
by the way,
But
so
it has a certain amount of charm, I guess.
they all are like post traumatic in this episode. Like
I
I
have
have a
just
quick
started
question.
learning Unreal Engine, just, side hobby. So I could, maybe eventually I could make like a Star Trek set where it's matte paintings
That's cool.
everywhere and the rocks and the...
That'd be cool, actually. So I don't know if any of you guys know this, but there's a game called Star Trek Online. I know you know that
Wow.
part, but before they
Never heard
released
of it.
before they released what we know as Star Trek Online, there was a whole nother game that was in development for Star Trek Online they completely trashed it and started from the ground up. And this other game, it didn't really revolve so much around the ship combat, it was more about away teams. So like imagine your dungeon party in WoW is an away team, and you're going to different planets, and the different planets, different missions are different dungeons essentially and quests.
Star Trek: A
And
Final
it was
Unity.
way more intriguing than what we got, I think, in my opinion.
Video game production is going to be about like churning out as many games as possible that make profit for the company. They don't care about development or
Well, I think they felt it was too close to World of Warcraft, and they're like, no, we need something way different.
it's just a mess. We'll never get anywhere with the system that we have.
Oh no, they shot that old guy.
Not the old guy.
He was my favorite character.
I liked the Final Unity. I felt that it was really like it felt like a good 2-part episode. You know,
It was
felt
very
like
Star Trek.
Yeah,
You know,
it was very Star Trek.
I played
A good 2-part episode that takes place over the time equivalent of 10 episodes.
Yeah, it is longer than a 2-part. That's fair, but it does feel like an arc. You know, episode arc. Like you lifted right out of next gen.
Star Trek Insurrection. There was a Star Trek TNG game, like Relic or something about a final relic. And Data was on an away team, and you just beam back up. You just solve the thing. But yeah, it's a good format.
Take him down, he's got a gun.
By the way, okay, so I think acting-wise, this is my favorite scene of Neelix. Because you never forget it. You're like looking at what the heck is going on. Like,
Where did he even get a gun?
Yeah. And so when does Neelix hold people hostage? Like,
Does
or
he have a gun in the mess
he's
hall?
holding
Where?
he's holding Naomi hostage of all people, you know?
She's
Protecting
not a
her.
hostage, he's protecting her. Yeah.
Yeah,
He is
but, I mean,
defending his future wife.
as an audience member, he settles down with someone else, by the way. But as an audience member, you're like, this looks like a hostage situation. Like,
Hey, fun fact: Naomi also ages rapidly.
Only for the first 2 years.
Because they don't want to recast her.
Again, yes.
It could be Qatarian. You know, Qatarian genes make you accelerate.
Okay, he throws the gun away, he stands up, and then we shoot him.
Like, this is a really amazing
question.
scene because again, we don't know what's going on, but Chakotay was traumatized too, right? Sorry, what you were saying.
Yep, you can tell because he has bags under his eyes.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering how many of us here watch Last of Us, and if anybody wants to watch the last episode together tonight.
I cannot begin to describe how much I don't want to do a group setting for
Yeah.
my first watch through of anything.
Right. Well, usually when I watch something for the first time in a group setting, it's just dead silent, and then we talk about it afterwards. That's my idea of it.
Okay, like a quiet watch along.
You just watch, you take notes of things that you're going to discuss afterwards.
I can make a
Oh, that sounds so
text channel.
boring. No talking, only after.
No, but you know, it's,
then we have to do it the second watch through because you don't want to spoil the first watch through.
I think that if I'm doing a watch through and it's the first time, then there's going to be a certain amount of, like, okay, people are going to talk over this.
I
And that's
barely
why I
even know
don't
what's
do
happening
that.
in Star Trek episodes, and I've seen them many times. What? How do you tell the difference between a real memory and a dream that you remember?
Is that not a memory? You remember the dream?
How does this work? It works very well. Restrain him.
Wake up the traumatized person.
Okay, So Janeway hasn't started hallucinating yet. She's good. Kim has, you can see, looks a little anxious.
Yeah, she's got +10, like, resistance to hallucination. She's
Or,
got better
wait, no.
things to do.
She has started hallucinating, but the war crimes are just her day to day, so she's not
She's
affected.
like, whatever. She's like not phased by the war crimes. She just
can't tell the
remembers what
difference
she
between
did
her
to
regular dreams
Tuvix,
and this.
and it's all like in proportion, you know. How are your memories wiped? I thought they were real memories.
Don't worry about that.
I think that the monument at the end of this episode reminds me of the artifact from Dead Space.
It's just like a
And
standard
they both make
obelisk.
people hallucinate.
My taco place, they have a new guy working at my taco place on the weekend, and he's terrible.
Does this relate to the war crimes, or what's it?
It should be a war
Is
crime.
being terrible at tacos a war crime?
Why couldn't they just do what they are told? Is not something ever said by a good guy?
And you were there. And you were there.
Coincidentally,
Was
it
it
was
Wizard of
only the
Oz?
people who happen to be in this room right now.
Yeah, Savdra only wants senior officers.
Honestly, why is the crew even entertaining that they were actually there? Like, surely the ship has logs, right? Because we know Voyager is constantly scanning people's brain patterns and their location and everything. Unless they're thinking like the logs were faked?
So,
But if they were fighting a war,
Is-
they had to have been gone for a while.
has anybody watched Rings of Power, and are they enjoying it? Do they
I
enjoy
did watch
it?
it, and I did. Good show.
I agree. I don't see what all the controversy is about.
Because it's different.
I
People
really
don't like things that are different.
I liked it. It was good. I mean, like, it wasn't like didn't change my life, but it was good.
I missed that. Which show?
I have not
what's
watched
that?
it.
Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power.
Sorry, I didn't watch it. Have no opinion to offer.
Well, you should watch it because it's a good show.
I've heard as much. Yeah.
Now, when's season 2? 2024, apparently. Cool.
I miss getting a season a year out of things.
26 episodes.
Yeah.
There are children.
It's
That means there's
22.
going to be some war crimes happening. Yes.
Are you excited
that
for
a-
war crimes?
Yes. Is that a Halo assault rifle Neelix is holding?
The prior scene when they're all, well, anyway, this kind of refutes. But when they're all in the conference room and they're all like, "You were there and you were there," that's kind of bad. Because when you watch CinemaSins, he just discusses how if you do a lot of
Yeah.
exposition, that's bad TV or for cinema. But here they're showing it, which is kind of good. But all this exposition is bad.
Why are we watching CinemaSins again?
Yeah, I don't think you should go to them for serious critique.
I think the guy has a good idea of film criticism. I think he's
No.
a very astute.
He knows how to nitpick.
I think when you watch every movie, kind of. I mean, film and television use certain tropes, and it's kind of predictable after a certain point. But we should encourage more originality among our directors and writers.
I mean, tropes aren't bad, and his criticism often amounts to not understanding something and sounding smart about it. Like,
Something that was
bad, I think they're
explained
just
earlier in
boring.
the TV show or movie.
I mean, I agree. There, like, I saw a criticism someone did of CinemaSins, and they
Yeah.
quoted the guy himself. So the guy he's ranting about Winnie the Pooh. And he's like, "This has to stop. All you're doing is just milking prior genres." But then they just quoted him like, "Oh, you have to stop doing what you're doing, which is ruining cinema." The same way.
Now, Cinema wins, however. 10 out of 10. I haven't watched
But-
them recently, actually. Probably still good.
But here's the thing, right? So you shouldn't do too much exposition, and Star Trek is obviously like, you know,
It's all exposition. That's the whole
It's
show.
really exposition heavy. It's kind of part of the game.
I mean, it
Half the
has to
show
be
is people
exposition heavy, you know.
sitting at a table talking.
just exposition saves money, you know, and that's why they do it. But
Oh,
it's bad.
It's an
often
evil
just
kettle.
necessary. Like it's just you have a story with a lot of sort of background to it, and you gotta get to it all somehow. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, there's a 45-minute time constraint and all that, but Star Trek does it way too much. Like way
it does.
too much.
I mean-
Wait,
I mean, it's heavy on it, but it's a style. I don't know.
no, it's not a style.
I think
Wait,
It's lazy writing.
It's not a style, it's a failing, actually,
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah, I would.
Those
argue.
things that Harry just kicked over, I'm pretty sure those are self-replicating minds.
Oh, what do you call them? Is it the... Wait. Are you
By
sure
the
it
way-
wasn't a Houdini?
This just
No, the
turned into-
Houdinis were like
Those are Houdini.
6
Oh,
inches
no,
across.
sorry. And the Houdinis are the cloaked mines.
And they were CG.
Subspace mines.
They were pretty good CG, to be fair.
Okay, there's a war crime. It wasn't my fault. I was just hunting them down through a cave where they were hiding. Come on, don't tell me you'd object to a little genocide.
She likes to stare her victims in the face before she sex them with a transporter. Vivisect, sorry.
Yeah, why? I wonder how this thing decides who on the ship hallucinates. Because she's fine.
It gets all the senior officers.
Probably based on how long you're exposed and then like biological, variations. So some people are more resistant than others.
I guess because
Yeah, so
Yeah, it's
senior
getting all the
officers
people
are the
that
least
were-
resistant.
it's getting all the people that got close to it because they were on the flyer.
Yep, that's my point.
Yeah. Let's get closer to it. Oh my god, Tom, they didn't even exist.
Wait, are they still... They still think it's real?
Yeah.
So because I think this is quite funny actually, because this kind of thing happens a lot in this future. People are like, oh, we were probably just abducted and reprogrammed. And they just jump straight to that conclusion instead of trying to investigate properly first.
Yeah, we should have thought of that. But you know that scene before when Harry Kim did the war crime? So I've been watching the Vietnam era movies, so it's Apocalypse Now and Full Metal Jacket and Platoon. And so they have all those great old actors like Martin Sheen, excuse me.
Charlie
And-
Sheen? Yeah, excellent actor.
And Charlie Sheen was actually in Platoon.
Is he
But,
still alive?
I think so. Somehow.
This
Charlie
feels like
Sheen,
he's the
yeah.
kind of guy who would be dead from a drug overdose.
He
He's
has,
got-
he
I don't
has
think he
AIDS.
is.
He has AIDS. So you
Really?
know.
Really?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he was
Wow, I
infected.
didn't realize that.
Well, he's not going to be alive for that much longer, I guess.
No,
Well, if you
we
have a lot of money,
medications.
AIDS isn't a big deal.
say-
Like if you have a
We have
boatload of money.
medication.
Anyway, AIDS.
You don't need
proper,
money.
Like,
You don't need money. It's covered by insurance now. Like, you know, you
What,
can live.
AIDS?
Well,
You
yeah,
can live.
Antiviral.
You can live to a natural,
Antiviral
healthy
is
life.
super expensive, and it's like
Mm.
it's like tens of thousands of dollars a day. So
The South Park episode I
Um,
watched taught me that all you need is money to survive AIDS.
basically, here's the thing
Once
about
upon a
AIDS:
time, yes, but now you just need one pill and it's free.
the
it's
very
not
very
free.
very
It's
deadly
insurance to get it.
the very very deadly strains don't survive long enough to get passed around. So like it really quickly became much less lethal,
Yeah,
much less immediately lethal, because
Okay,
the
sorry,
people who
but
survived longer
that's
spread
often
it
the
more.
case with diseases. Yeah, over
Yeah.
time.
God, I love
So
talking
now
about
with
AIDS.
COVID.
Let's keep talking about it for the
Yeah,
rest of
let's.
the episode.
Sorry, I was gonna say something
What's your
about
favorite viral strain?
I'd have to say
the one
I
that
think
turns me into a
the
spider.
Omega one. That's my favorite.
Yeah, the one from Genesis TNG.
Oh, they've got a good plan here. If you get rid of the evidence, there was no war crime.
That's great.
It all works out.
I mean,
So in Apocalypse Now, they find like a boat of Vietnamese people who are trying to sell them chickens, and then they think they're smuggling weapons, so they kill all 3 civilians. But one of them survives, try to take him to the hospital, and the commander just shoots and kills her because like we don't have time to take her to a hospital. So, you know, all this war crime stuff. I mean, it. First of all, there should have been a warning to the beginning of this episode that extreme violence.
If
is
your
going-
loved one has been vaporized by a phaser blast,
there's
God,
extreme
can you
violence.
imagine that? Like if we were like so warlike that we had to have that kind of insurance policy.
This really is too much for a Star Trek episode.
I mean, I think it's just about right. You know, it's just not Janeway doing the war crimes for once.
I decided whenever someone talks about Discovery being too dark, I'm just going to point to this.
Yeah.
yes.
This is
Yeah.
messed up.
Speaking of which, what do you guys feel about Discovery being canceled?
Not happy.
Ambivalent.
I think it was kind of hitting its stride.
At some point,
was-
we have too many Star Trek shows going at the same time. We have a lot of Star Trek right now.
It's true.
Part of the reason people got sick of Star Trek before and its numbers started to tank is because there was too much Star Trek for too long. So we don't want to repeat
Yeah.
that mistake.
And you know, TOS only lasted 3 seasons. Enterprise only lasted 4. So frankly, 5 seasons is not bad for.
But it's good. It's still, you know,
It's more than
I feel
it
like it could have
should have
gone
got.
longer. But
Discovery, it kind of feels like they don't know what they want to do with it.
yes, I think that's always been the problem with it. Yeah. Third season, it felt like they had an idea what they were doing. Finally.
It felt like every
they
season they
ended
were
too
fighting
soon.
some type of galaxy-ending
Yeah.
mega threat every
and-
season. It was just like,
And they
this
clearly
is kind of
couldn't
old.
think of any for the fourth season either. So it was just like, hey, it's a big space blob that just eats everything.
I did like how the solution to the DMA was just talk to them, just talk about it. It's fine.
That it was very Star Trek. And actually, I actually kind of liked it when it ended.
It was really good.
That wasn't bad. The end wasn't bad. It was just sort of how getting there. Sort of the opposite of season 3, where it's really good, and the end was just like, why?
How did season 3 end again? What was that one
It
about?
was a little baby
Oh,
crying
that
for
was
his mother.
that was the green lady. Yeah.
See, that was
It's-
that was hold up.
This is so bad.
That was Encounter at Farpoint. Basically, it ties back to the first episode. And
I mean, which was also bad.
hey,
Hey man,
you know what?
what do you have against the space jellies?
You don't know something?
We even got more space jellies,
We did. Do you think that
which we can't go into detail about, but it was awesome.
Yes.
Something's wrong.
Do we think they're the same space jellies, or
I don't.
I mean,
They might
again, we can't get specific, but yes, it definitely felt like they were trying.
I mean,
Yeah,
it was a
reminiscent
very
anyway.
explicit callback by name.
That's right. They did mention it.
Yeah.
That's right.
But you're right. So,
So they said it was like that. They didn't confirm that it was that, but yes.
Yes.
do we have more episodes, or is this the end of the season?
No, this is like halfway through the season.
Oh wow.
This is
We're talking
episode
about Picard
14.
now?
Each season has 26.
Yeah. But PTSD for soldiers. This is how it is. There was a really good Jake Gyllenhaal movie called Brothers, and he plays a U.S. soldier who gets kidnapped in Afghanistan, presumed dead. And when he comes back, the world is different, and he's all traumatized.
Yeah, well, maybe they should try just stop being sad.
But you got a lot of mental issues when you come back from
Right.
deployment. Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks, I guess. Yeah.
Just if you're depressed, just stop thinking, and then you won't have any more depressed thoughts. Easy.
I don't know.
Have
I
you
feel like
tried buying some stuff to make you feel better?
Oh yes, consumerism is the solution to your depression.
Self-medication.
America.
America.
God, I love consumerism.
You know, one other funny thing is though that messes up soldiers most when they come home from war. So it's like you in war you don't have too many amenities. You have to survive on whatever you have.
With the poop rags, yeah.
Yeah, with your rations.
Gross.
The little single-ply toilet papers they give you. Oh,
so when you come back here, you're standing in the grocery store and you have 50 different kinds of cereal, and like you don't know how to pick Frosted
just
Flakes,
overwhelmed, yeah.
mini wheats, and so
I mean, I stand in the cereal aisle and I get overwhelmed, and I've never been in a war zone, so I don't know how they would feel.
Yeah, so that they're like, you know what? It's just better. I'll just go back on another tour of duty and go ahead and live the life that I know rather than deal with this nonsense of like pick a cereal, any cereal.
People do the same thing with prison.
Yeah,
I guess the army and
outside.
We
Is
make
it-
fun of America a lot for its capitalism. How's the capitalism in Scotland? Is it also a horrific dystopia? What's going on?
it's pretty dystopian, yeah. Except
Okay,
the difference
cool.
is there's a lot more tax.
Yeah, but there's healthcare, which
Yeah, it's not
significant.
very good though.
I mean,
You need to. It's great if you're in an emergency, but if you need to access something like a GP, well, good luck.
that's true, but like covering you in the
Emergency.
really bad cases is pretty damn valuable.
Yeah,
compared
the
to
emergency
the
case,
other
they deal with that really
hell-
well.
Yeah,
But that's the only thing they deal with well, because it's all been like all the emphasis has been on that for a long time. So if you have a chronic
Well, I
condition,
mean-
well, you're going to suffer quite a lot.
So here, but the number one cause of bankruptcy in the United States is medical debt.
yeah, exactly.
So-
Like, the situation,
So, for sure, like your system's inefficient and like
actually, it's very efficient
it ain't pretty.
in
No,
dollars per
it's not,
person,
but it's not pretty though. In the sense that like
Much like Star Trek Discovery, maybe it's best if we just start over again.
I think,
By the way,
put it this way, I don't think the model's terrible, but there are other models that are probably better. And
That's
Much like
probably
Star Trek
true.
Discovery.
Yeah.
go in that
surely we can do
direction.
that. But so I love the ending of this episode because we beam down and it's this pretty little forest clearing, and you're like,
Wow, it's so nice and tranquil.
I'd
and then
be
of
very
course,
concerned about beaming down here. If this thing's sending out
Yeah.
like psychic energy messing with people's brains, I don't know if I want to walk up to it.
Planet-wide
true.
psyop underway.
and then it's in like bright daylight, and we're never outside in this show, right? So it's very disorienting to see like nature and trees.
Ew, nature. Ugh.
It's like for us, we don't go outside either. So
Hey,
My
you speak for
God.
yourself.
They go
It's
outside
the
in
outskirts
basics.
of Los Angeles.
I sometimes
They
go
go-
outside.
They go outside in
not
the
raining.
what was it called, the 36ers or whatever it was.
39ers?
26ers,
68ers?
39ers.
I don't know. The people that were stolen.
oh, the 37ers.
Oh yeah, Harry.
Well,
Oh, I recognize this
I don't know
place.
which
This is
number.
where I did it. This is where we
Oh yeah, he finds
found
a
those
cave
other
where he, like,
aliens.
mowed down innocent people just for like not following his
this-
commands fast enough.
Is this the daytime version of the planet that Chakotay and Janeway get stuck on?
Yeah,
It's probably.
yeah, it's the same planet.
It's planet Earth! Got him!
Oh,
is-
but those are fake rocks. Those are brought in.
This is also where Seven
It's
and
McKinley
the
Park.
three Borg like can't figure out.
Is McKinley Park named after McKinley Station?
It's named after William McKinley.
Maybe it's the other way around.
Maybe William McKinley was named after McKinley Park?
Or maybe he was named after McKinley Station.
Or Mount McKinley. So fun fact.
Oh, is it going to be fun though?
Is it war crimes again?
Argos. For cases of like police brutality.
Oh
It's a
yeah,
war
fun
crime.
This
fact.
is not
Yeah, here
very
we go.
fun.
A really great writer, Malcolm Gladwell. He wrote a book called Blink about how like subconscious reflexes, like so, in a tense, stressful situation, your brain slows down the perceptions that it has, and so you can hear a bullet whizzing by, but you won't see the person like to the right of you or something because your brain's just taking whatever information it can in a desperate like survival
Yeah, you
situation.
get tunnel vision.
Yeah, you get tunnel vision, and so, but even time moves more different or something. So
Well, it's not that time slows down; it's that you speed up the processing of time.
yeah.
You basically overclock your CPU for a little while with adrenaline.
And I have a Star Trek question.
Yes,
Where is the light coming from?
that's true.
It's coming from the cameraman.
It's true. There's no reason for any light for it to be here.
It would be a really terrible show if there wasn't, though, wouldn't it? It'd just be like a bunch of infrared footage.
So there's a
fun fact. When I go to the range, I can see the bullets traveling down range, and it's only like 80 feet, and they're going 3,000 feet per second. So if I can see the bullets,
but
Well,
what
it's
I'm
not
saying
that
is
you have like super perception; it's that your vision works in analog, so it's a continuous signal.
Okay, but what the point was though was that in that am I in danger for my life situation? You your brain is honing in on certain sensory phenomenon and completely ignoring other sensory phenomenon. So you may not even hear someone saying stop or he's unarmed or whatever. And so that's how he explains, for example, in the 90s there was an incident of like 5 police officers shooting someone 51 times. And he was just reaching for his wallet, but like, and once one person starts shooting, another person starts shooting, everyone's panicked. So I mean, it's we can say, oh man, these racist cops or whatever, but actually we're all just people.
Also,
and we
can also
we
notice
react.
things like they do that more often with black people. Like,
But at some point though, for
like,
sure,
absolutely, we can also judge them for that.
there's an unconscious phenomenon though, like when Harry Kim mowed down those people in the cave. He's not an evil person. He was just an inexperienced with the gun, I guess.
That's also why we have training.
Still murder.
it took a unconscious bias.
Cool mode is still murder.
It is.
It took an unconscious bias test, and it said I had no discernible preference for.
I'm sure it did.
Yeah.
Preference for what? What are we talking about? Like ice cream flavors? I bet you're. What do you call the one that's 3 ice creams?
I think like there's one set up by a university where
Neapolitan,
someone with
Spumoni.
dark.
Spumoni, no way. Spumoni is cherry,
What is Spumoni?
pistachio, and chocolate, and it's gross.
It does
So
sound bad.
okay, I want to talk about the giant monolith thing. The design of it, I feel weird about because it looks like a very TOS era design, but it's clearly made with materials in CG of the Voyager era, and it feels odd.
That's exactly the point. It makes you feel different.
So if you could like,
It makes me feel odd in less of a war crimey way and more of a.
Maybe when you go to sleep tonight, you'll be doing some war crimes. You never know.
if you could live,
Send this video to 10 people, or you'll do war crimes in your sleep tonight.
I think it's all the harsh angles of the monolith with the perfect sphere on top. It feels very 60s to me.
if you could live the life of a Nazi guard for 36 hours,
Could I
Oh
not?
lord.
would you
choose not to?
would you be down for that? Because
No.
but we all should learn from that terrible episode in human history where we just turn ourselves off to the suffering of another.
I mean, sure.
Quote Neelix over here.
Am I just riding along like a passenger, or can I affect decisions and things?
You're just riding along like a passenger. It's
No,
just
because like if I could change things, I'd be like, all right, just walk up to Hitler and shoot him in the head.
If you die as a Nazi guard, do you die in real life?
Yes.
And does Hitler die in real life?
Basically, you just watch.
I mean, why not?
Wait, what happened at the obelisk at Kittimer? Is
Can't
that about when
the
the
Romulan
attack that
attack.
Worf's dad was killed in?
Worf's parents were killed, but the Enterprise C comes to save the day. It starts the Kittimer Accords, which leads to peace between
Nope,
the Federation and
different
Klingon.
thing. That's a different thing.
That's not the Kittimer?
No, that was at Nirvana 3.
No, that was Kittimer.
Narendra.
Narendra 3.
Okay, Enterprise
Wait,
C
what
was
was Nirvana
Narendra
3?
3.
Because Nirvana 3 is also a planet.
Yeah, okay, so that was Enterprise C, you're right. But Kittimer was Worf's parents, and that led to peace with the Federation. But oh wow, we have an obelisk there. I didn't realize that.
Oh, Nelvana 3 is the planet from The Defector, where fake or
Tomalak.
real Admiral Jarok was like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
there's a secret Romulan base on Nelvana 3.
Yeah, and they're just
It's a nice
testing him the whole
obelisk.
time.
It looks... Is it just me that I think it looks like it's from the 60s?
It looks like it's from Stargate Atlantis.
Does.
I like the solution they have in the episode, because you shouldn't force people to live, the life of a war criminal, but so
Right.
have a buoy and then just
If you
talk
want to
about
live the
Stargate
life of a
without
war
Soma
criminal,
here.
here's a VR experience.
yeah, basically.
I
But
wonder if an
I mean, the
experience
rest
like
of
that would
asking
make
they
it
wanted-
onto
they wanted to get
Steam.
fluted.
Would Steam sell a VR game where you're committing war crimes?
You won't
like
sell
real life?
anything as long as it's not 18 plus content.
Well, I feel like war
I
crimes
think-
are 18 plus
I think
content.
gunning
be, yeah.
innocent people
Well,
down.
I mean, have you played Wolfenstein?
But
Yeah.
I'm specific. I mean, like actual
I
history.
think
Like if they
you're killing
place
Nazis
you as a
in
Nazi guard in a
Wolfenstein?
concentration camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And
it's
like,
like
yes, this is
extremely
what it was
violent
like,
and
you
it
have to do
completely
it.
glorifies it, so it really depends where your morals lie.
Gunning down 5,000 innocent men and boys that
It's
in
not
Bosnia.
likely to be a bit of war crime, though.
It's a little
Anyway,
too
how
much,
about
though.
Star Trek Tsunkatse with Dwayne the Rock Johnson?
Don't you?
Now
Is
we
the
get
next-
to
Don't you play? Hold on, don't you play
Happy
RimWorld?
episode.
now we get to do violence for entertainment.
I have.
Those aren't
The
real
best
life
kind.
war crimes, though. Those are regular video game war crimes.
Just regular video game. What's like a regular video game war crime?
So Wolfenstein 3D is you kill Nazis, so it's okay to kill Nazis. So that's a
Yeah, it's
good.
okay to kill people as long as they have bad political views, right?
Okay, 1 minute to Tsunkatse with our
That's what
favorite
the
guest
news
stars
tells us.
Martok,
That's what the news
Jeffrey
tells us, Argus.
Combs, and Dwayne Johnson.
Mr.
Mark
Johnson.
Well, I'm just saying there's a reason why like the first video game it was okay to kill because you were killing Nazis.
I don't think that was the first video game. I don't think the first video game had Nazis in it.
I don't
like
think
the
Pong
first-
had Nazis in it. No.
The first person shooter video game.
What has the righty paddle done?
Wolfenstein 3D?
Wolfenstein 3C was not the first one, anyway.
Okay.
That was Doom that I think you're talking about, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, the
It
Wolfenstein
was-
3D
It doesn't matter. All the
predates
games from that area, all those
Dune.
shooters are exactly the same. with
Wolfenstein
different
predates
skins.
Doom. Sorry.
Yes,
What's up?
thank you, Robo.
Wolfenstein.
for 3D?
Wolfenstein predates.
Yeah,
Wolfenstein 3D,
3D?
predates Doom.
yeah.
Yes.
Please
Really?
press
That's why I
play in
switched.
5,
Yes.
4,
Yes.
3, 2, 1, play. Okay.
A review isn't
We're
often
heading-
right, but in this case,
Wolfenstein is now dead. We're now on to
We're
WWE
percussive
2024.
Hey Robo, I thought of you because I watched the motion picture and Nurse Nurse Chapel is played
Nurse
by
Majel?
Majel
Nurse
Barrett.
Rachel, the side
Roddenberry.
nurse.
Yeah, and she was a doctor though on the
Jerry Ryan,
Enterprise at this
tertiary
point.
adjunct.
So,
Yeah,
knowledge
I
is a
wonder
two-way
what like
street.
you know how like when they do the wrestling intro, they do like the big hype intro, and they've always got some witty thing that they're rapping into it. What would they say about Seven?
7 of 9, the X-Borg Fenris Ranger from the Delta Quadrant.
You're not a
So-
feminist ranger yet.
More kidnapping people for violence.
There's Martok.
Oh,
That's my boy.
fun fact, Star Trek Picard said Picard
Wait,
dealt with all the
how
heroes
recent
and-
of Star Trek Picard? Because season 3 is still spoiler protected.
Well, it happened off screen, but Picard fights
Well,
the
if-
Herosian.
This guy
And
on the right
wins.
looks like El Ducat a little bit.
I
Yeah,
haven't
Like
seen
a
Picard yet, but I find it
Cardassian
hard to
Zal
believe that old
hybrid.
decrepit Picard could fight Herosian.
yeah. He defeats all the Herosian when they try to attack the Federation.
I that whole story that he had in the bar about that. Now we're getting into spoilers. I think it was so
It's just-
stupid.
Apple?
that-
Last episode, guys.
Okay.
So I'm looking in the audience. Oh god, one of those aliens had a massive head. I'm looking to see if any of these aliens we recognize. I thought I saw a Klingon, but I'm not
Isn't
sure.
there I'm sure the dudes that the
Was that a
guys
Jem'Hadar?
that hack into the Doctor's daydreams. I'm sure there's a couple of them in the crowd.
There's an alien in the audience
There
that's
is.
either
There
a
is. You're right. There are
Jem'Hadar or a
couple of those in the
Voth.
crowd. They were from what, the hierarchy?
Yeah.
Oh god.
They're in the crowd. They look like Cytherians from Doctor Who a little bit.
You mean Cytherians from Star Trek: The Next Generation?
No. They also kind of remind me of Grimace, the purple thing from McDonald's. Excuse me.
From the what?
Yeah.
There's like a mascot character from McDonald's called Grimace, I think, right?
Oh.
And he's like a big
Yeah.
purple. It looks like a big purple
Yeah, he's
gumdrop,
Ronald McDonald's
basically.
friend next to Hamburglar. Yeah.
Hamburglar.
Yeah.
So I assume everybody here is familiar with Knights of the Old Republic.
yes.
Yes.
So in the arena on Taurus, if you look out at the audience, you can see some of the Rakata in the audience because it's like, oh, there's an alien in our game. We can
Rakata?
put them in. The builders, they put
Ouchies.
some of the builder race in the audience, the ancient extinct precursors. It's like, oh yeah, we have this alien design. That's fine. And it's just, you can't do that.
Lazy.
What do you mean they can't do that? They did it.
No, they
Did you play Old Republic, the online MMO?
briefly.
I
That
played
does
it and
not
I
sound
was
good.
like trying to find all the holocrons. It was just World of Warcraft and Star Wars universe. There's one holocron that gives you like +10 to all stats, but you need like a whole group to get it. Kind of annoying. Try to get it solo, but it's impossible.
But are there Rakata in it?
The
I
cheese.
don't remember. It's literally been like, how long's it been? 15 years since I played it.
One of my-
Roughly.
One of the best parts of Xandor was just the name drop of the Rakata, and that's all they needed. Just say the word, and you're good.
Andor was pretty good, even though
It
it's
was.
pointless. It's pretty good
Why is it pointless?
because it's focusing on a character from Rogue One, and we know what happens to all the characters in Rogue One.
How do you feel about the prequel trilogy, about characters we've already seen?
Well, the prequel trilogy wasn't great.
Special guest star The Rock. Not Dwayne Johnson, it just said The Rock.
Yep.
And
He wasn't going
that's
as with
for
the
you.
Rock Johnson yet.
yeah. Can you smell what he's cooking though? I mean, that's important.
I don't know, does he cook? Is that his side hustle?
When 7 comes out,
He's got like a
it's-
chef YouTube channel.
I would enjoy that greatly if it turned out that was all that was his catchphrase entirely because he's a like the way never mind.
But no, I don't buy the line of thinking that just because we know what happens to a character in the end, that the stories taking place during their life are meaningless.
Well, there's certain things we didn't need explained, like the Solo movie. Like we didn't need to find out where he got his dice. We didn't need to find out where he got his blaster. We didn't need to
Andor
like.
didn't
There's
do
all
any
this
of
stuff that didn't need
though.
explaining. We didn't need the Han. We already had Han Solo's story in the original trilogy. We didn't need a backstory because whatever we could imagine was 1,000 times more interesting and detailed than what they put to screen. So like by defining it,
with these things, yeah.
by defining it, you instantly limit it to what that is. And whereas opposed to like letting the fans' imagination fill that in, it's boundless and it's personal for every fan. But when you create that thing, It was
It has to be
it was
good
Solo.
because it has to live up to what everyone thought it might be. Yeah,
It never will. It never will though.
No.
That's the catch. It's like
but it can be
nothing
fun
they
when
could
things-
do
when
will ever.
to learn things like that in the backstory. But you're right, it's a risk.
It's like unless you are consulted and you get complete creative control, it's not going to be good to you. And what's good to you isn't going to be good to anybody else.
Yeah,
Because everybody, I mean, we've lived
tastes
with
aren't
the
that
character
bad, come
at
on.
that point. We lived with the character at that point for like 40 years, right? So like, what could they possibly
I'm
have
not that
put to
old.
screen that would have
Getting
Han Solo?
under attack here. Oh my
I'm
gosh.
saying like he was introduced
Yeah, I
in
know.
77, right? Okay.
Yeah, but I wasn't yet.
No, you weren't even a twinkle in your daddy's eye.
You don't know that. So many assumptions being made today,
You weren't even a thought in your programmer's mind.
eh? When did the source code get written for me?
How old are
Did
you?
the source code?
Oh, well, I'm glad you asked.
I'm guessing you're 26 or 27.
What makes you say that?
Oh my god.
Oh,
Rick Berman, what is this you again?
I think it's been
Because
like a year
haha,
since the
women
last
packing.
time we talked about your age, at least. Well,
Wait,
I mean, it's
what's
been
Rick
like
Berman up to?
He's stereotyping women
it's-
again.
yeah. It is a little.
But he's so
like
good
that.
at it. Just just leave him to it.
it's been like 5 months since we talked in general.
Yeah.
About Rick Berman? Or...
Yeah, 5 months.
Don't do it,
The
Seven. It's
here
a
we go.
trap.
We're subverting the expectations now because Seven is the one carrying the giant caskets that are very heavy, presumably.
That's true. That is an improvement on stereotype.
Don't.
She's
You
still
were
in a
saying?
cat suit.
Never mind the fact that the doctor's holographic.
Yeah, there's a lot of Rick going on here, but
All right, there's
It's not-
the
It's not
doctor
as
has
egregious
infinite
as
strength,
usual.
right?
The Doctor is as strong as the plot needs him to be. Don't worry about that.
Sometimes he
Yeah,
can bounce
theoretically,
off
the
of
doctor
walls
has
and
infinite
things,
strength. Well, all right, so he is limited probably to the power in the mobile emitter, right? So the force field can only be as powerful as.
I don't think
he
his
could-
strength matters here because when she handed that over, it clearly made an empty thumb sound. There's nothing in it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a hollow
know.
thing. But that's just so they can carry it up and down repeatedly as they fail takes.
Cowards.
could say it's hollow pursuits. Hollow pursuits.
It was supposed to show how absolutely strong Seven is because she's about to be fighting a bunch.
Oh yeah, this is an episode about wrestling. Forgot about that for a minute.
We call that foreshadowing. God, look how strong she is. She'll be a great fighter.
Oh my god, Seven, you never point. You're not supposed to say that.
no.
Tuvok though. Oh, Tuvok, my main man.
Is it just like average introvert conversation? Like,
Yes. Tuvok gets it.
It's like, well, was it awkward? No, I guess not.
I kind of wish they left that a little more silence there just to make the point that they're quite happily just chilling.
Although, have you ever walked through a room before and like no one's talking? That is awkward.
I don't think it's awkward
Anyway.
for both of them because they're both antisocial in that sense.
Oh, yeah,
Tuvok,
these
do you want
two
to
are.
beam it off instead of
Social,
scanning
they
it?
just
Well, I mean,
They're
nothing else feels
antisocial
that
by
they-
human standards.
Yeah.
they're both could be introverts too. So I remember I was friends with this girl from France, and we used to go to the library, the big New York public library with like the fancy lamps and the fancy.
Wait, it's
ceiling.
Jeffrey.
Hey.
Wow.
Say the word
My
culpable.
name Jeff.
Okay, that's enough. You can continue with your story now. We just had to see Jeff.
The great voice too, by the way. He's just getting
Oh,
all
it's
into it.
Jeff. Hey, Jeff. Hey, Jeff.
His enunciation's so great.
Even if you if you don't recognize his face, I mean, come on, it's
Wonder how much whisper
Jeff.
talking is going to do through this episode.
So, I watched the shuttle pod with Vaughn. I guess
Vaughn Armstrong.
Vaughn actually has played more roles than
He has, yes.
Jeff.
But Vaughn, of course, is in a lot more episodes because he's. Or no, Jeff is in a lot more episodes because, DS9.
He's the main character.
There's
Is he
Marduk.
though?
Listen to Marduk.
Oh man, so much good classic voice acting.
He's clearly just doing a Wei Yun voice, though. He has two voices. He has Wei Yun
That's
voice,
true.
and he has. Well,
Shran.
he has evil
he has
voice and he has
another
good guy
voice?
voice.
I've never heard his other voice.
What's the pervert voice?
What?
Oh yeah, he's
Pervert
Brunt.
that
Isn't he?
wanted Kira's
That's his evil
hollow
voice.
image for a special.
He's
Hello,
Brunt
program.
FCA, is he not?
Yeah, he's Brunt FCA. I think he's
No.
he's a couple other Ferengi. He's a Ferengian Enterprise as well.
He is, yep.
Yeah, he's in
So
that
he
one
has-
where
no,
they're
he has-
looking for the gold.
I like
He's got
even
his Vorta voice and his.
Wei Yun himself has
Ferengi
two
voice.
voices. Wei Yun's has his Damar voice and his founder voice.
Oh yeah, his acquiescent voice and his authoritative voice.
I still want an episode that's just all Jeffrey Combs. Every character is Jeffrey Combs.
And
Oh,
Marduk.
then the magic would be spoiled though.
I think that'd be great. It would be like remember when they did the Nutty Professor and it was Eddie Murphy playing all the characters?
Yeah.
It'd be like that. They did that a lot in the 90s. It was a common thing.
Was there like a dearth of good actors at that point? Is that why they had to resort to that?
No, it was probably because
He was at the peak of his career. So
Eddie Murphy cost so much money that they couldn't afford to have anybody else in the roles.
You know,
He
I'm
does
kind of
much
surprised
roles.
Nicolas Cage hasn't done that more than once because he did an adaptation, which was fantastic. But he's such a weird actor. You'd think that people would make
He's
more
just
use of him that way.
a weird
Isn't
human
there a movie
being.
about him having a failing acting career?
Writing career. It's about the guy writing adaptation, and his twin brother who doesn't actually exist. It's
Isn't
the
there one
weirdest
where
movie.
he plays opposite of Pedro Pascal?
Yeah.
Mostly
as
plays
himself,
opposite
right?
himself. Mostly plays up. I mean, it's mostly Nicolas Cage. Is Pedro Pascal in it? I don't remember.
Yeah,
Is he
Pedro
not like
Pascal.
a mafia?
I'm a little-
dude?
Adaptation?
I'm a little worried for Pedro Pascal because I feel like he's getting typecast, and into the future he's just going to be protective.
The strong,
dad.
silent
That's his whole
type.
thing.
Yeah,
strong
protecting the magical child. Yeah.
You know what? He's the money makes up for it. So
Just like
I'm
Jeffrey
upset-
Combs is typecast into being awesome.
You know what I'm upset about? Here's what I'm upset about. I'm upset that Henry Cavill left The Witcher to fulfill the contract to play Superman, and then they cut him from Superman only after Netflix recast Witcher. And now he's going on to do a Warhammer 40,000 series, I think on Amazon. I think it's going to be on Amazon. Anyway, I want the Warhammer 40,000 series. I think it'll be interesting, but I don't care about anybody else being Geralt. Like I'm locked into Henry Cavill. I mean, I guess
I wasn't watching it, so
Leola
you weren't
Ointment.
watching The Witcher. It's good.
I can't believe
I mean,
we have Leola Ointment.
He just
Leola
uses
Rook can be used
Leola
for
for everything. It's like coconut. Like he just uses it on everything. It's just-
I mean, coconut oil is great. You can cook with it. You can eat
Okay,
it.
Neelix, calm down.
you can use it
You can
as
rub it
personal
on your
lubricant.
skin.
You can moisturize.
So, fun fact: if you cover your body with coconut oil and you get a running start and you jump into a bed with silk sheets, you will slide clear across the other side. And hit the wall.
Are you saying
Okay.
that from
I
personal
don't know.
experience?
Have you done
Don't
this
answer
experiment?
that. I don't want to know the answers to any of these questions. So anyway, look, it's Neelix.
Covered in
Yeah.
Leola root oil, sliding on a silk sheet bed.
Is he having an allergic reaction to the Leola root?
Yeah, that's what the doctor said.
It's funny. Wouldn't he have an allergic reaction from eating it as well? And he eats it all the time?
You
Not
know, if
necessarily.
you can develop an allergy into adulthood
No.
if you eat something your whole life.
You can develop allergies to
Neelix
just
would
about
be into
anything.
televised blood sport.
It's funny the doctor talking about wrestling as barbaric when this was all clearly cross promotion with WWE.
Yeah.
They must not have given him a partnership or something. He's like, it's barbaric.
I mean, they had to, right? They were going to let.
I thought it was cool how
be unsaid.
when
Still
they
funny.
tried to rescue their crew member, they found out that they're not really there, and it's just like a holographic projection.
Spoilers.
But I think we should do that at some
What?
point. Live fights over holographic television.
What, between us?
I mean, we're not there yet, but we're getting there.
Oh.
Like they have Tupac and Prince, right? As holograms at concerts. And it was like controversial to have a hologram of a dead person.
Oh, reveal that it's 7. That's got to be this shot.
But
Them
if
smiling,
fighting
them
to
chatting
death
up,
is
having a good
good,
time.
unless it's someone you know. Oh,
There's Dwayne.
Oh.
Can
Hi,
you
Dwayne.
smell what the Rock?
it's funny how he's looking around, and we don't know yet that he's just looking at nothing.
Candy ass.
He's looking at the hollow grid. It's a very nice
He's got
hollow
like
grid.
cues. It's like, do the eyebrow thing over here. There you go. Walk around.
What stands? What are you talking about?
So I grew up in the 90s, but I read this really amazing article about how wrestling in the 80s, those characters, it was like the Sheik of Libya, like modeled after Muammar Gaddafi, and like a Russian general, because obviously Russia was bad in the 80s, and it collapsed by
How
the
about
90s.
now? How do you?
Well,
I like your use of the
in
past
general,
tense.
in 91 it collapsed, and then it was like neutered for a while, but now we have this guy. But so it was just but a wrestling personality reinvents him or herself. So the oil chic guy turns into Gaddafi, turns into any kind of, he changes turbans or characters or become but he used to be a Russian general. So it's funny when wrestlers like their persona and their talk is about, it's a show.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it would be an
That's awesome
amazing
for men.
show.
Absolutely.
It would be amazing if we saw 7 assimilate the Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
His physical distinctiveness will be added to the Bard Collective.
We will all smell what
now,
the Rock is cooking.
now
Yes, we will know what he's cooking. We will know all of the recipes.
Yes, we will in fact be cooking. That he's cooking.
Kill him, 7. Take him down. You're not supposed to
that
kick
was
him
a
in the
good kick.
face. You're supposed to hit his sensor with your Polaron emitter to deliver a bioplasmic discharge.
That's the stunt actor, right? For 7 doing the fly kick?
Maybe.
I mean,
Or did Jerry Ryan do a
Probably.
fly kick? I mean, it was from the back of the
yeah,
head.
probably.
So it's
Probably
probably a
stunt
stunt actor.
I hope not.
Well, it was a really high kick.
Cool when actors embrace the role enough to do their own stunts.
Okay, so it is actually a recreation of the set. I was kind of expecting it to just be a hologrid.
Okay, yeah.
No, it's got to be physically accurate so that
Yeah, no, but
you know,
who's he smiling at and waving to, Like you said, there must be
he
cues.
just knows what to do.
There's...
He was smiling at Pank.
Oh, Jeffrey Combs is in charge of the broadcast too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's evil or something.
Okay.
Evil Jeffrey. I like evil robot Jeffrey. He was pretty cool.
When did evil robot Jeffrey happen?
In Lower Decks.
Oh yeah.
Evil computer Jeffrey.
Oh, but
He's got the best computer laugh.
I wonder if The Rock winning this fight was a part of their contract.
yeah. He has to
It might
win
have been,
first.
yeah.
It's the sort of thing that they
He's like, I'm not
They-
losing. What?
that yeah.
I'm not losing to a girl.
But she's 7 of 9, tertiary adjunct of Unimatrix 01, probably.
Maybe stunt actor, maybe possibly. No Jerry Ryans were harmed in the making of this stunt.
What? You're saying our number one entertainment franchise is kidnapping people? You don't say.
I don't understand the relevance of that comment.
No, I'm
Do
saying
you understand the relevance of Chancellor Martok working with 7 to improve her Tsunkatse?
That sounds like a curry flavor, to be honest. It
Tsunkatse
sounds like it'd be pretty
or Martok?
tasty.
It's
He's nice, calm, chill, Martok. He's nice.
You ever notice how no matter who Martok is or who he's playing, he's always got like an old war injury. Oh,
He's got the voice for it.
If you watch that clip of him in Quantum Leap with Scott Bakula, it's just Martok again. He's talking about honor and he's holding one of his eyes closed while he's doing it.
wait, which one is he?
I haven't seen this.
Which character is he?
I don't know the name. If you just look up Martok Quantum Leap, you'll find it real quick.
Wait, he's in Quantum Leap? Oh, what?
Here, I'm going to post it in the Discord general chat. It's only 13 seconds long if you want to watch it. He literally holds the same eye closed while he's talking about honor. That is
That's his
destroyed
acting
in
guy.
DS9. It's the same character, except he looks like Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, she's a great heel. In other words,
He looks so different.
Martok
Yeah,
as Colonel Sanders?
he does not look at all like what I thought he would look like.
I don't know what to tell you, man. That's just what he looks like.
See, I can only
Why-
really see him as a Klingon, so that's sort of what I was expecting.
You can... Actually, I was going to say, wow, you can actually see him as a human in DS9, but no, of course you can, because Far Beyond the Stars. But also, the episode where he's Brother Benny, Cisco's Brother Benny, and all the alien actors are just humans. But also in the very last episode, when they're having that going away party in Vix, you can see all the alien actors just as party guests, as humans.
oh, that's really cute.
What?
I didn't know that.
Jeffrey's there. Martok's there. I forget Martok's name. Hertzler, that's his name.
Artsler.
You can see Iris Stephen Bear. He's not an alien actor, but you know. Could we use a gun?
He's gun on Tsunkatse.
Come on, Seven. Come on. You. No, but she can assimilate the rock. Come on, let her use her tubules. That's probably a sanctioned maneuver.
The tubules maneuver, classic. That's the 35th maneuver of Tsunkatse.
I like his makeup, though. That's a good mask.
Oh, what are you talking about? That's him.
Oh, right in the liver. What's that person in the background doing staring at them?
Staring.
She
What's your
looks real
problem with
creepy.
it, huh?
That, I mean, that, his son's first hunt. He's kind of leaving out the fact that they hunt people. It's not exactly heartwarming, is it?
No, they don't hunt people, they hunt prey.
Okay.
You have to dehumanize them in order to hunt them.
Correct.
Would you be sad if they kept hunting 8472? I mean, they're kind of a threat.
No, they're chill. They're Boothby. They just hang out.
They're not all Boothby.
They all can be Boothby. It could be an entire army of Boothby.
A nightmarish scenario.
Oh, the lady stopped staring. Or is that a guy? The dude stopped staring. I wonder how we're going to get 7 out. I figure there are 3 options. One, we can buy her back. Unlikely. We can do diplomacy with her government. Maybe, but probably not. 3, gun.
Yeah, what if we just shoot the way... Like, I shoot a hole in the ship that Seven's in, and then take her
I
out
bet
through the
that's
hole.
what's going to happen. Oh, we can't transport through their hole. It's made of some sort of sensor-reflecting alloy.
It's made of superneutronium.
It's not antimatter reflecting, is it?
Does it reflect bullets? Yes, it has a shield.
I suspect even time travelers are vulnerable to the Colt 45. God, I love the Mark Twain episode. It's perfect.
It's perfect Star Trek.
Do you mean that? Yeah, he means that literally. Okay. They just literally connected the dots.
Yeah, they know graph theory.
The only thing is when the actor playing Martok is in that clip, Ryan, he has a British accent.
He doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
He doesn't.
J.G. Hertzler is British? That doesn't... What?
The character had a upper crust British accent.
No, he doesn't. Of course, I'm British.
Is the actor though? Like,
No, he's from Savannah, Georgia. He's a Southerner.
Try and argue with me about British accent.
Yeah, I mean, Argos, I feel dumb arguing with you about British
Yeah,
accents.
Argos is British.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not an American accent. Argos, you're Scottish, okay? So, like, it could be,
Excuse me?
right?
You trying to say that's not part of Britain?
I'm just saying, it's an English accent.
The
that
United
No,
Kingdom
I
of
wouldn't
Great Britain and
know, Ray.
Northern
No,
Scotland.
I'm not saying you wouldn't know it. I'm saying you
I
didn't
don't live
catch
in
it
England or
'cause
anything.
because you grew up with it. Because you wouldn't catch it. But I'm American, so
Oh, you would?
I'm American, so I recognize distinctly.
Well, how come she got it wrong?
Not an American accent.
Is Martok gonna die at the end of the episode? I feel like he's gonna die saving 7.
I don't know
No,
whether
I
you're
think he's-
saying that like genuinely or
vibes.
not.
No, I don't...
This
I don't
episode-
know how he's gonna die, but I really
She-
get the feeling he's gonna die.
This episode is stupid because Tuvok should be the one fighting, not her.
He's
She goes in
half
for her
dead.
next match.
It's like
and it
nearly
turns out-
dead.
Oh
But it was.
yeah, the match with. Oh yeah. So he does die saving 7 by proxy.
By dying.
Wait, this
No,
game
he
is a death.
survives. They get him out.
Since when is this game for death? I thought it was just like
It's
of
death
them
if it's a
are.
red match.
okay.
Yeah. Those are the ones you can bet the most money on.
Okay.
Why is Tuvok not fighting? I don't know. Why is Tuvok not fighting? Look at the
But he's
man.
a scaredy.
He's a coward.
I think people are more interested in seeing a Borg get beat up than a Vulcan because they're like, "What's a Vulcan?" But they all
But you
hate
would
the
think
Borg.
Jeffrey Combs would love to have a Vulcan be killed. He hates Vulcans.
This
Nobody
Jeffrey
knows what a
Combs doesn't know
Vulcan
what a
is.
Vulcan is.
I don't think that's true. I very much think that Jeffrey Combs knows what a Vulcan is.
Not in this quadrant.
But he's still Jeffrey. He's linked to the Jeff mind.
He only has like an intuition about Vulcans, but he knows the Borg are worth money,
You know,
especially if you get them beat up.
Martok's plotline. Wait, no, that's why.
This sounds
At
like
the end of-
Battlestar music.
That's
At the
I mean, I was gonna think that clacking sound if think of Battlestar and anything.
The drums and that as well.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, at the end of DS9, Worf becomes Chancellor, right?
For all of like 2 seconds.
And then he gives it to Martok.
Leader of the Empire. Leader of Destiny. Which I don't think that's how it works. I don't think you can do that. That doesn't sound very Klingon, where you can just say, no, you're Chancellor now, it's chill. There was a whole succession thing.
Well, it's also like, you know, when you killed somebody above you, you take their rank. So
Martok has to kill Worf.
oh, okay. No, but Worf killed the person who had who killed Gowron. So
Yes, so Worf legitimately became leader of the Empire. But
and then he
it
renounced
doesn't feel like he could just hand it over to Martok. I feel like there are rules about that.
I see. I feel like it becomes your property and you can just give it to whoever you want.
But other people, I mean, if it's a leadership role, other people have to accept it.
But they're Klingons, so they would be like, no, you didn't earn it with honor. You refused to fight
Exactly.
for it.
Exactly.
It's it kind of reminds me. So when they discovered the Dead Sea Scrolls, there's only a handful of people who can read that ancient Hebrew, and so the professors, they basically treated the study of those scrolls like their own personal fiefdom, and they would determine who would get their chair after they died, and therefore who would get like to study the documents that they didn't get to publish on.
Yes, Chakotay. Kill them. Is that... it doesn't look like a warship. Oh, those are some good spins, Martok. I'm not convinced spinning is a good trick in fighting, but, you know, there's some good spins.
That's funny. They taught us in Little League that sliding slows you down. So you think you're all heroic by sliding into like second base, but you're just better running into it.
But I would think the sliding is less about speed and more about avoiding someone touching you with the ball.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Okay.
I think
Like,
that what they were saying
maybe
is
a little
more
bit
about the
extra
liability of children hurting themselves by sliding around.
speed. Yes, that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, gun is the solution.
Did you ever play baseball, Ryan?
Not really.
Use gun on BR facility.
Did you play rugby, Argos?
No. Football.
Soccer.
God, Harry, what are you even good for? Can't penetrate the multiphasic force fields. Pointless.
He invented astrometrics.
I didn't know he invented the study of astrometrics.
He built the astrometrics lab.
Professor Kim.
What was... He did like a 720-degree spin when she kicked him in the face. How did that work?
Spinning also helps absorb the impact. It helps offensively and defensively.
I'm also still unclear on what evasive maneuvers means in Star Trek.
It means
Yeah.
run around in space.
You know,
Move
they
real
say
fast.
because pirates have only one
Go
eye.
sim.
Go fast. Go fast.
Because pirates only have one eye.
Move to the head.
They say the best way to dodge a pirate is to like run in zigzags because he wouldn't have
Because they
the
only have
depth
one eye.
perception. Yeah. So
There's
that's
also
what
a Game of Thrones at least once.
Sorry, what was that term?
Now we're saved. We have
The
a
Game of
shuttle
Thrones,
that can come
the
and
guy should've
fight.
zigzagged. It's a thing. I think it was before the Battle of the Bastards, was it? Can't remember.
Does this make sense? That the Delta
Huh?
Flyer can take it, but Voyager can't?
What do you mean? Does it make sense? We're not here to make sense.
Don't worry about it. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Just have fun.
I wonder if the audience knows it's projected.
No, they don't. It's like wrestling viewers. They don't know that the thing was fake.
Also, how come... Like, I get thematically why this guy's the final boss. But at the same time, why isn't Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson the final boss?
It's true.
Because
What happened to our cross-promotion?
They couldn't pay him enough.
He wasn't an actor yet.
That was just to get you to watch the episode. That wasn't the point of the episode.
Oh, she was gonna do it.
I mean, Tuvok even told her, do whatever you have to survive.
He's a friend. So, is he a member of the crew now? Is he gonna hang out?
Why don't we get a
future
heroic
episodes?
member of the crew?
Maybe Hertzler just didn't want to do the makeup every day. Anne Herogen.
That's weird.
It's like an hour.
Yeah, except you don't pronounce the H in hour. It's more like an historian, which is just
It's
an
stupid.
awful thing that people should never have decided was an idea.
It's because of the Brits. And how they don't, pronounce letters.
Except they do pronounce the H in historian, so it's not...
It's an historian.
It's very subtle.
Is it,
Because
though?
you can drop
Not
the
that
H,
subtle.
and you understand it just fine.
I mean, that's true of a lot of letters that can
Yeah.
be dropped, but aren't.
Tarek.
The-
Star Trek.
That's one for the history books.
Yeah, but again, the people who say an historian usually do pronounce the H.
I don't... Even a South England accent is very subject to change.
I'm really surprised that Martok survived the episode. Come on,
mean,
Seven, you would have killed him. Come on.
If he could survive a Dominion war camp, he could survive the episode.
Did he survive the camp?
That's the question.
I do have things I want to talk about regarding the Dominion War, but I can't because reasons.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, Tuvok, come on, no. Let it just be quiet. Leave her alone. You owe her nothing. Yeah, she's fine. She didn't even kill anyone, and she certainly didn't get killed. Come on, it's not even a big deal. It's barely even trauma.
I don't think anyone else in any other series was subject to being a fighter, right? An MMA fighter.
I mean, it happened. I mean, there was a time that Kirk was supposed to be fighting Spock.
I think TOS is so long ago. It's hard to.
Okay.
There was that time Spock was supposed to
Yeah.
be fighting Spock.
That's true, though. That's true. So in the Pon Farr, Kirk does fight Spock. Thanks. You're right.
Does Kirk and the Gorn count?
I said MMA,
And
so
it-
I'm thinking for commercial purposes. That's what I meant. Well, the show doesn't have too much
As a sport?
purposes going on. Yeah, it's a sport.
I mean, there
Well,
was of course the time that
Riker and his dad.
also Cisco and Q in the ring, but I don't think that ring
yes,
existed.
Code of Honor. Tasha and random lady.
Kalar.
No, not Kalar.
K-
Tasha.
K-
When Tasha has to fight with the spiked gauntlet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The mace. The mace that you wear on your sleeve. Yeah.
Okay, so those are today's episodes. What are next week's episodes? Let me open up my Voyager folder.
Paris, please find a way
Nope.
to load a hyperspace.
Okay, that's good. So next week is
Wow.
Collective, which is about something. It sounds Borgy, but I don't know what it is. What's
Borgy.
Collective?
Oh, did you hear that? Borg has a new
Collective is the Borg
definition?
children. What definition? What?
Yeah. Now Borg refers to blackout rage gallon. I guess a bunch of college kids are taking like gallon jugs, and filling it with booze and like Gatorade, and just binge drinking.
Okay.
Anyway,
I'm gonna keep using Borg to mean the cyborgs.
Yep.
Very creative name, by the way. The Cyborg.
Yeah.
They speak such good amalgamated English.
I would be willing to bet if we got an origin story for the Borg, their species name when they were organic would be the Psy something. They went from the Psy to the Borg. But anyway, next week is Collective, which is the Borg children and the baby who ceases to exist after that episode. Spirit Folk, which is continuing the trend of stereotyping Irish people. And Ashes to Ashes with the people who are not zombies. It would be racist to call them zombies. But they take dead corpses, as opposed to living corpses, and resurrect them. And we get Ensign Lindsay Ballard is her name.
You know, everyone's favorite until she died.
Lindsay Ballard?
Oh no, sorry, never mind.
Who we never heard about before that episode?
Yeah.
But apparently was kind of maybe sort of dating Harry?
Yeah, but she was
Terrible taste in men.
Yeah.
Jesus, Lindsay. Okay, that's next week though. This week is done. The week shall perish.
The higher the viewer.